Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout, presented by Two Hoots Hard Iced Tea, a bolder, real flavor. Don't just give a hoot, give two. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Joaquin Gage with you here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, as well as those watching on YouTube. On the show today, we will qualify someone for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival VIP table to the Saturday with Kevin Hart, GreatOutdoorsComedyFestival.com for more information. Alicat, the official beer of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, and we're qualifying someone for a chance to swing for $100,000 at the Swing to Win with EST $100,000 hole-in-one, brought to you by Golf Town at the Ranch on July 3rd. Boys, how you guys doing today?
I'm good. You guys ever come close to a hole-in? Or have you ever had one?
Very close, like within like 3-4 inches.
Really?
Yeah, it was very exciting for about a minute. And reality set in.
I think Kurt Fraser. Remember Kurt Fraser?
Yep.
Canuck, great. He his tournament way back in the day I went to, and it was to win a Harley. Ooh. And I worm burned it all the way up, and I guess I just rolled past the hole by inches. And then that was for something special. And then I was at it looked like I did it at the Edmonton Golf and Country Club. I think it's, what hole is that? Maybe 10. I think it's a par 3 down, and it went behind. It looked like it went in, but it was just behind the flagstick. I couldn't see it from the tee box.
That's a nice golf course.
But
too.
It was. Yeah, just
I was about an inch and a half away. That was probably the closest. Like, I had one buddy who was probably within an inch from one, but I've never seen one.
Same.
I've never had one. I still am always upset that Paul Brown, formerly of the Bear, has one at Northern Bear. That useless guy somehow has one.
How do you feel about him, really?
Actually, I was one of the few people that actually enjoyed him.
I got along with him fine, but I was just joking.
No, I know, no, but like he was a POS. There's no question about it. But I still loved Paul, as weird as that is. But like me and Dave were probably one of the only two people that were kind of, I won't go with sad, but we're gonna miss Paul when he left the Bear. Everyone else was just super happy, and some people even went up to him like, I don't have to be nice to anymore, so thank God, and like didn't care. I know our buddy Chad Urschel. I think he has one.
Ursch has one?
I think so.
My dad has one.
He was he was at a men's league night once or something, and I think someone got one, but they weren't. I think Ryan was in the group too. He saw it.
Ursch is like a good athlete.
You want to know something? He's gotten a lot, like really good at golf.
At golf?
Because I golfed with him probably maybe 5 years ago for the first time or something like that, and he was very raw. He got mad at me.
Really?
Because I would be like, the wind affects a ball. He's like, the wind can't affect the ball. You're not good enough. I was like, no, it doesn't matter. The ball's in the air. It's going to affect it.
My opinion of Urschel has just changed if he's thinking that.
But so now he's really into golf. He'll be at the EST Classic. He's a good golfer now. Yeah. But also, I was talking with him a couple months ago, and he realized his clubs. He never looked at it. I forgot the.
He's hitting ladies' clubs.
He was hitting ladies' clubs.
That's adorable.
He didn't realize it. He took some sticker off or something, and then finally noticed it was ladies' clubs. So we got newer clubs and stuff.
What's the difference?
Flex.
I think there's just various different things with it. So he probably loses certain distance or something like that with it.
I don't know. Do you guys have a stiff shaft on your driver?
My driver.
Yes. The answer to that is yes, Joaquin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a stiffer one. I don't think I have a regular.
Are we talking golf?
Yeah, well, whatever you think we're talking about, Tommy.
Pure McGuire.
I had a whippy shaft for a while, and I felt that I had more control, and then someone stole it.
Oh,
but
you can buy the driver head and then put a different flex shaft.
I will say, don't change your shaft if you buy a new driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go find a shaft that works for you and work. Like that is a big part of it. Like people will buy just the whole set.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's best to actually go get. There are some better shafts that you get that don't come with the driver as you buy it.
That's what PXG
and it's the
does.
way to do it.
If you buy a PXG driver, you can pick a couple of
really?
There's a bunch of different shafts you can choose from. The one that suits your game better.
I'm guessing if you go online to like TaylorMade or something, like when you build, I'm assuming you probably could build your driver type thing. But if you go to a store, buy off the rack, I highly recommend switch the shaft though.
Maybe it's a question for Murray, but like because I thought, back in the day, stiff, you're swinging hard, whatever. And then I got one that was like a medium flex, and I could feel the lag when I was swinging, but it caused me to kind of slow my swing down.
And you had the control you needed.
Yeah, and then because now you see, the correlation between hockey sticks and golf, they're obviously different. I understand that, but most of the best goal scorers with hardest shots have whippier sticks.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's, or whippier shafts that wonder if it makes a difference.
Guys are down to like 75 flex. I know, and even Brett Hull was kind of like the first guy. They asked him what shaft he used, and he's like, I use a really whippy 75. And I remember I always used 100, but now I'm like, you know what? Like, get me down to an 85-ish, and it does feel better.
Especially at hockey schools when you're shooting 200 pucks, right? Yeah. You want a 75-60 because you're going to be so tired by the end of the day, and you'll get tennis, hockey, golf elbow,
and then your feet kill you if you're on the ice for like 4 or 5 hours a day. It's rough. Anyway, was there a hockey game last night?
Oh, right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, there was a Memorial Cup game. I believe it was London and Saginaw. What was that? Who was it?
London's into the final. Yeah. Saginaw has to go the B route, if you will.
So they play tomorrow, and then the finals the next day
against the Jow.
Yeah. Final should be Sunday.
Yeah.
Or do they have a day off in between again?
Final is always on Sunday.
It's always
Sunday,
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So what's today?
Today's Thursday.
Thursday, Friday. So day off Saturday, Sunday final.
Yeah, so make the most sense.
So tomorrow,
but they're off for 3 days.
Who? London?
Yeah.
They would be.
They are a machine of a team. Though.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, like it is such a quick tournament, but there's a lot of games. This is 2 days off, extra or 3 days. It's probably really beneficial.
Yeah, no doubt. That's so much hockey. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm surprised because Moose Jaw looked like world beaters, but then you get to
they got to go east.
Yeah.
The West always gets screwed. U Sport Memorial Cup. I'm always going to claim for that. Actually, that's more Memorial Cup than I thought we were going to talk about when I joked about the Memorial Cup.
Talk about the Memorial Cup.
I know, but when you said there's a hockey game last night, I went with the joke there, and it was.
I believe the Memorial Cup is the hardest trophy to win in all of sports.
Okay, for a regular year I want to keep it to North America because I would have to think really long and hard about other things. In North America, I would put that and March Madness together. The reason, because March Madness, you can't afford a loss. At a loss, you're done. You're gone. You can't have a bad game. You're out.
You're not talking about the grind of it. You're talking about just the setup and the margin for error.
Well, I think even just getting there. You have to go win your league to get to the Memorial Cup unless you're a host, right? Okay, but we could take them aside generally. You got to go through 4 rounds. And then you got to go to a week and a half long term or whatever it is where there are no room for error, basically.
Yeah. It's tough.
But then there's there's a draft in the CHL, right? There's not just, you can't just go up to, DuPont's kid and go, hey, look at our program. And then, all the.
You could go make trades. You could force trades.
Yeah, I get it.
But you can't go between.
Yeah.
Leagues, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just so hard because you have to be in the right window, be on the right. Usually there's those, as we saw with the Oil Kings, like there's ebbs and flows, and just to hit it the right time, go through it all. Because I remember we lost in the Western Final against Swift Current, but we beat the crap out of that team. They went and they were awesome. When you look at that roster and the point totals of that team, you're going, oh my God, they're going to destroy everybody. And they didn't win a game when they got there. So
I don't want to see it change formats either, Gager. And that's something that keeps coming up. I think we as sports society and culture, yes, we, the collective, media, fans, whatever, executives, we always want to tinker with stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the other side, I wouldn't mind doing
it.
But I also
you're
know
annoying right now. I'm kidding.
I also know logistically it's almost impossible to do. But when I watch March Madness, I go, how do we not do March Madness in Canada? And what's our sport?
Right, you've talked about that.
It's hockey. So why couldn't we do this in the CHL where we bring 32 teams together or 16 teams from across the 3 leagues and have a bracket-style format?
Yeah.
The problem is that's taken us well into June to accomplish this, I would have to think, or something like that. And I think just... unless someone could really propose it, in a way that makes sense.
And then this has to be there.
And then I think there would be more money involved in
there might
potentially
be.
something like that because now we can fill up brackets and we can care.
More markets involved.
Yeah, but the other flip side to that also is you're going up against the playoffs of the NHL, so would people really fully get into it?
No.
But if you're going to tell me that we could have a Memorial Cup, but it's going to be March Madness style, I would be all in for that, as opposed to a week-long little bit of crapshoot. Like the Oil Kings of 12, I think they won the WHL. I think it was 12.
Yeah, that was the first one.
That was a great hockey team.
That was.
And they had a terrible Memorial Cup, but they got off to just a bad start, and they couldn't get it figured out. And they couldn't get it going.
2 years later, they win it.
They go win it.
Speaking of that Memorial Cup winning team, or actually those Oil Kings, especially the 2012 team, great guys. And I see Stefan Legault all the time. He's a great guy. Legs. And then he went and played Nate. And then as well, he played at U of A after Nate. And he had he was a camp invite to Oilers camp 1 year, rookie invite. He's a great guy. Just shout out to Legs. Hello, Legs.
They don't have the U of A rookie game anymore, do they?
No, they got rid of it. They tried to combine Nate and McEwen, and it wasn't there. It was weird.
That's too bad. That was a fun game.
There's a story there. It's for another day and not on the air.
Okay. Summertime story?
I know some of those ones.
When we're searching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get to the Oiler game. This is Hangout Headlines, brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. Premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. If you're golfing this year, be sure to go to the Ranch Golf and Country Club. Book your tee time, theranchgolf.com. It's like Lay's chips. You go once, you're going to want to go again. They bet you can't just go once. You're going to want to keep going to the ranch over and over and over.
Right.
I can't wait to be we'll be there July 3rd for the hole-in-one contest. We'll be there July 9th for the EST Classic. It's just a top spot. And we were talking yesterday with Zach for the driving range. It's one of my favorite driving ranges that there are out there because for the tees, you could tee your own ball. You could use your own tee and tee it, which is, I think, so important. When you go to Victoria or something, that's those plastic stuff, and you're stuck at the height.
And you try to steal one from a different slot.
Even when it's not the height that you want it at necessarily. Everyone's going to be different with where they want it or something. You can't adjust it. Whereas the ranch, you can plop it right in.
The ranch has so many things. I'm going to pump up Murray and his course because it's fantastic.
They think about all the stuff.
We're talking about building your drivers and everything and testing out your clubs and getting fitted. They have the tailor-made performance center at the ranch too.
You talking about buying a $500 driver the other day?
Yeah, I've been told not to stay away from the Stealth 2. So I think I'm going to stay away from it.
I've heard good things about pings.
Oh, I love the pings.
Yeah. I am highly intrigued by PXG drivers. Apparently they're really coming around.
I need to read more on PXG
It's a
because
neat company.
Well, they shot up and they were huge.
And they were super expensive.
And now
off the
they've
top.
no one cares about them almost anymore.
That's a
and I
very
want to
good
figure
way
what
to
happened and how they screwed that up.
Their marketing was they were expending tons of money on marketing, and I think it's just quieted
They were the
down a bit.
first ones with the full black look, and it looked beautiful.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even I don't know, some people don't care about the look of golf clubs. There are some that do care about the look
when
of
you
golf clubs.
address the ball,
you want
it's
to. The
important.
driver's a big one. When you're looking at a driver too,
Yeah.
you want a proper head that I don't know if it's a little off to you.
And it's up here.
just gonna mess with you mentally.
Yeah.
Oilers even up the series 2 games apiece. Didn't look like it was gonna be that after the first 10 minutes or so of that hockey game. I think
First
I
5
said to
minutes,
Jim
oh my.
Matheson, I was like, I think we're going to see Pickard in net tonight, just with how that started. What happened? How did that switch for them? And where has this team been?
Yeah, that was. But I mean, it was the first goal. What that was Johnson, right? Was it the?
Yeah.
So and then the Kulak jumps up. And he's being aggressive, and it's a flip play. It's got a little bit of luck there too. It lands perfectly. Great shot. Then again, you'd like a save there.
His first shot of the game.
I know it's but then and then the next one is just completely luck.
I felt bad. Because there's 2 guys that didn't need that was Nurse and Skinner.
Well,
right?
funny.
It was that's why do it have to be those 2? Obviously Skinner's in that, so it would have to be him.
Funny,
But
man.
it couldn't be Ekholm, so Nurse doesn't have to deal with that.
And Nurse is just 2-on-1, okay, just try not to let the pass go through or whatever. It's a goal. And then that other one, it's perfect. Hitting him perfectly, way off to the side. He's doing everything.
Yeah.
Making sure he takes his guy. And then Skinner goes down, and it goes anywhere else, he stops it, really, and it goes perfectly. And then I'm just, for Nurse to go through, everything. Like poor play, having the short answers. I don't know, Tommy. You were in the. It looked like he was smiling a little bit.
Well,
he was. It looked like he was on the verge of laughing.
Well, I could tell you a little tidbit about that. So everybody gathers around him, and I look at the scrum. I'm like, there's no point. Like, I don't need to get in on this. So I go to Brad Harrison and Shane Olmsted, the equipment managers for the Oilers, and they've got their arms crossed and they're kind of like leaning into the scrum. And I was like, morning, guys. And I start talking to them. They're like, shut up, Tom. Give me 2 seconds. And they're waiting to hear Darnell. So obviously.
They knew his one-word answers.
They knew it was coming. Yeah.
Because, it looked like he was laughing almost.
It was still a dick move by him.
I was one that didn't care. I loved it.
Look,
I laughed, but it's a dick move.
I'm sorry if I'm gonna upset Oilers fans, but there's sometimes the Oilers don't like everybody. Whether it's media, sometimes it's fans, and
sometimes both. And a lot of times you have that mindset where it's out of spite, like screw you, I don't care. So when maybe there's going to be one time where you're going to go up to Darnell and ask for an autograph, and he's going to say no.
Yeah, there's a couple of texts that came in during the day like that. I was like, oh.
I don't mind it at all. It's like for him to have the type of game that he did have and the testicular fortitude to battle through all that, especially after the first 5 minutes of that game. Unbelievable job by Darnell Nurse. Like, you have to give him credit. Like, most people that have been all over him would be sucking their thumb in the fetal position in the corner in a dark room if they were in the same type of scenario. So, but as a team, sometimes it's, the fans get on you, the media. It's us against the world mentality that you can use, and you got to use it to your. You can use it one or two ways, to your advantage, or you can cower.
What did you say that was with Nurse? It was embarrassing, or it was with the way with the media yesterday? What was the word you used?
Did I use it today or yesterday?
Like a couple minutes ago, like before Gage started talking.
I called it a dick move.
Why?
Because it was.
But who is a dick move to?
Everybody. It just in general.
Because in the end, to me, it's for the media that they have no one to complain about because it gave everyone in media more to talk about.
Yeah. No, it did.
So
it did.
But
it's just the principle of it is dickish.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
That's I get it there.
I'm not put off by it.
Well, there's some people that didn't like it, and I was at the opposite. I laughed
when he did it.
I don't think it's a dick move.
I think.
Well, you.
Well, I guess the attitude he has in that scrum, I get he's being a dick.
And he did it to the two nicest guys in Rashog,
and he's being pissy. But he can't pick favorites there. He's going, I think, in that me against the world type mentality.
Yeah.
Screw everyone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to unpack here, by the way. I want to get into a bunch of this.
Fully there was a lot of heat for him. There's a lot of heat on him in the day prior.
Deservedly so.
Sure. But it's also, he has every right to be annoyed by all this heat, right?
Absolutely.
And that's where it shows me he cares.
Yeah,
he always cared.
No,
he's a character guy.
No, absolutely. But it's showing that he is still caring, and to me, it says that he knows he's not playing well, and he doesn't need anyone else to tell him he's not playing well, and that's why I was completely fine with it.
Now, if the night continued the way it started for Darnell Nurse, the noise would be 10 times.
You and Cass said it on the pregame yesterday that you have to perform after something like that, and 100%.
He bet on himself and he won, and that's good.
Good job.
Didn't start great.
Got a lot of hits.
Kudos to him for doing it.
He helped on the McLeod goal.
Finally.
Passed it back, and then he pulled the defender almost with him a little bit.
Well, I was worried about a high stick there in a sec, but
but he got up. Which he went. I can't remember who it was, but he goes over Binnington and helps open it up for McLeod.
But on Ottinger. You said Bennington.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
I think the Oilers need to do way more of that. Like when you have that kind of center drive or whatever, you bring another defenseman, and you saw the chaos that ensued after it. They could do way more of that.
That was like hockey 101, Gage.
I know.
Oh yeah, but that's how you do that.
Shots and go to the net.
Yes.
Isn't that I think Strutty tweeted that yesterday.
Oh yeah, what genius said this?
Just take shots and go to the net. Like what a novel concept.
Right. And then even the shot pass by McDavid, that was brilliant. Like I guarantee you where he put it on Ottinger was specifically and exclusively to make sure that comes out to be
I don't
sharp.
know why guys don't do that more.
It's such a good move.
Yeah. Like, it's so hard. And as a goalie, it's hard. It's easier to do it on the other side because on the right-hand side for a goalie, you can control the rebound a little bit because you have your stick
and
your blocker and your pad. You can steer it a lot better for McDavid to shoot it like that. And I mean, Bouchard, unbelievable to get that. It was just inside the post too. Like it was crazy. But the level of skill last night was so high. Like the neutral zone was just death for both teams. Any sort of turnover, it was a quick reattack. Like if you didn't go tape to tape, and if there was any sort of opportunity, a masterful game. I really enjoyed it.
I felt like once the Oilers started getting going and scored their goals early, like I don't think the Stars had much after.
No.
And the Oilers did a great job of basically just eliminating the Stars from that hockey game. And that was one of those games, whereas the Oilers got up 4-2 going into the third, I didn't feel like the Stars had it in them to make that comeback as the third period began.
I still question whether or not Edmonton could hang on.
Yeah.
But they seem to continue to press.
They played a style that wasn't allowing, like you saw in game 3 when they were just getting the puck out, and giving the Stars the puck back to reattack. Essentially, you have to keep making plays. Like they ask, how do you stop a team when they have momentum and things like that? You need a good first pass. You need another like good play through the neutral zone, whether it's getting the puck deep, establishing a forecheck, making it hard, or getting a chance off the, generating something off the rush. You can't just, when a team's feeling good, even though you get it out, you're just giving the puck back to them. You can't do that every single time. I realize in some instances, that's the best play to do. But like Paul Coffey said, like he wants these guys making plays. He knows the advantages of when you're on your heels to make 2 good passes, and usually it ends up in the offensive zone where you can kind of take that momentum back. I think, anyway.
No, that was very well said. Matthew?
I'm just trying to think what else. Like it was good enough.
Thank you. That was
that's the big story I think coming out of the game now for the rest of this series.
Well, that's what when they 4-2 going in, and then seeing Tanev go. Well, he went off and then taking the guard off, but then you saw how he walked back, like barely putting any weight on his foot. He's
been a top addition for them.
Yeah.
Since the trade from Calgary.
He's a stalwart.
And this is where
how do you replace that?
This is where I say, like, Darnell Nurse should be in the same conversation as Tanev and Lindell. Like, they're 2 really good. He should be even more so, right? And last night was the first time where he outplayed some of his counterparts, I think, in those areas. Even looking at Heiskanen, like he had a kind of a turnover in the neutral zone that resulted in, I think it was Leon's goal.
And that was a quick transition. That was
massive.
One of those ones
See,
you
it's
talk about.
like
Just
what
bam, bam.
You watch that neutral zone, man. It's a minefield out there.
Out.
But when I saw Tanev wasn't on the bench, I was like, okay, that's going to hurt Dallas Stars' chances of getting back in that game, because he just kills a lot of plays, like any offensive. He's so good.
Who's a bigger loss to the Stars, when they didn't have Hintz, or is it going to be Tanev if they don't have Tanev?
I think it's
Tanev.
You think it's Tanev?
Oh, yeah.
Because now it exposes. Now they're down to 4D essentially, with Ryan Suter being one of them. Petch, the guy hasn't played. God bless him. Love the kid. Great to talk with him yesterday, but he hasn't played in the NHL for 5 years essentially, and he just thrust in there on adrenaline basically. Yeah, that's a tough one. With Tanev, I don't know what the injury is, but like you said, the way he walked off, how he was wincing in pain, didn't come back for the third. That's, I mean, obviously a scary sign for Dallas Stars fans and the Dallas Stars. I still half expect him to play tomorrow just because he's that much of a beast. Like Gager, when in that Edmonton Calgary series, the fact that he played in some of those games, people were just amazed because they're like, he can't even lift his one arm.
Well, yeah, you saw him lose battles because of it, though. Like he would put his arm out, and you could see him just going, and guys were just muscling through.
Yeah.
That's a huge loss, because now what that does is obviously increases the ice time for for the other defensemen, and we see what happens is they just don't have any juice to jump in on the offensive side. They're just solely focused on, like, Heiskanen's going to. I think that's what you saw with Quinn Hughes. Is he was just on the ice too much. He didn't have any extra. He didn't have anything extra to go on the offense. And if they go down to basically 4.5 D now, that's something that the Oilers have to take advantage of.
Right.
A lot of credit has to be given to Chris Knoblauch. It seems
Oh my gosh.
this guy, this entire playoffs, he goes and, well, these 2 series, Kings was pretty fine, but he goes and makes moves. And
Chris.
he's got the touch. He's got the magic touch. Like, he goes. That line, that Draisaitl Perry line, that was, I think, the best line.
It's crazy.
It's like almost like Draisaitl slows the game down enough for Perry to stay, to keep it at Corey Perry's pace.
Yeah.
Almost as when he's coming up. Like, it just... It seemed like it built a little slower, but it worked. It ended up working because now you could get Perry involved with it, and that was a fantastic line last night.
It's so interesting to me, being outside and being in a locker room previously with guys in and out of the lineup, and when the coach makes those types of decisions, and not only are they good decisions, they're some of the best, and the people that are coming in take full advantage of their opportunity, right? I think Perry said that the egos are checked at the door, but just to constantly hit the right buttons with goaltending, with Broberg, with Perry coming back in and taking guys out too at the right time. It's just, man, Chris, pick some Lotto Max numbers for me, man, because this is ridiculous right now. He's hitting all the right buttons, but saying that, he's getting the people that are getting the opportunity are doing the most with it. That's a sign of a really, really tight dressing room, man. That's so encouraging with that nucleus.
One, is that a sign also the coach delivering the right message to guys as he's pulling them out?
Yeah.
Putting that they're not sulking or anything like that, that he's
that's
putting
hard.
it a good way of like, yeah, it's the playoffs, but Ryan McLeod, you're going to sit tonight.
Yeah.
This, but not you've been crap. Can't play you, but probably delivering a much softer message and get it back out there. You'll be great, and then goes back out there and he delivers for him.
And you saw he was a little bit more physical around the net. Darnell was
almost had 2 goals.
Yeah, Darnell was finally a little bit more of a agitator. Like you saw him go after Rupe in the corner and just kind of make sure that he got in his equipment a little bit.
Was he picturing a fan or a media member at that moment?
Probably. Yeah. Well,
It worked. Doesn't matter.
Does Rupe look like Speck a little bit?
Oh, boy.
That's what the water boy, right?
Oh, yeah.
It might be. I'll say this. If we're gonna go to the order for Nurse, I think Frank might be at the top of that.
Yeah,
one.
Frank took a good clean
Frank
swipe
wrote that
at
big
him.
article.
Oh, did he? Yeah, did he talk about like trading him or?
That the Oilers have a big problem long term and short term.
Yeah.
So, like, I think if for Darnell's perspective, I think he might have been number 1 media.
Yeah. Okay.
I think in the order.
Francis Bartholomew Saravalli.
Penn State grad who doesn't.
We talked with him yesterday. He doesn't root
It's not as deep in him.
with his heart. Yeah.
Him, his brother, and his sister all went there.
Yeah.
Because me,
Really?
Steve Sandor, and Tom were talking about just the
Yeah,
rootedness, how it's like ingrained into your family and your culture. And I was like, I think Frank's Penn State. And we asked, and he's like, yeah, Penn State, but it's not.
So, yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, which is, it's very un-American like.
Yeah.
He's very Canadian. Loves hockey, doesn't care about his university he went to.
That's weird.
Speaking of a polite Canadian and this whole big cojones thing with Chris Knoblauch, he had a quote yesterday in his pregame availability, and I was like, I don't know if I believe you right now. And the quote I'm talking about was when he was talking about Philip Broberg, and he goes that Broberg is well qualified to do it, and that being, be thrust into the spotlight and play a big game. And good on Broberg, 14 good minutes. That's the most he's ever played in a playoff game. But when Chris Knoblauch said that Broberg was well qualified, I was like, I don't think 10 playoff games averaging 6.5 minutes with zeros across the board and 4 penalty minutes, I think he was +3, is truly and the definition of well qualified for this scenario. To Broberg's credit, he played a sound game. Which
He made a pass from the left side all the way up to the right in the second period, and it was a missile, tape to tape. I was like, that's encouraging, because a lot of times you'd see him just try to go glassing out and move it up. Like he was looking to do things last night. Great. And again, who would have? Is there another coach that would actually put in the same situation? Do you see them putting Philip Broberg in? I don't
know.
I don't know, man. He's gone completely away from the norm of what we've seen from coaches here in the past. Like, and I don't say that in a bad way. Like trying to let guys work through it. There is something to that, but just having the short leash on basically everything except for your big dogs. But even then, there's subtle shifts in where they're playing with line mates and stuff. It's all young coaches might have to start watching old Nobby for these types of inspirational moves.
He's been learning from his mistakes.
Well, that's good.
Because he's had games where he's been made the bad decision mid-game or whatever it might be. 2 night games ago, putting Nurse and Cece back together. But then he comes back and he makes these moves, and boom, it all works.
At first glance, the Broberg thing, and Cass and I were talking about it, and I made the point, I'm like, if you're putting Broberg in, and you're down 2-1 in this series, and, it seems like some hope is lost, at least among the fan base, and maybe some media, sure. And you're throwing Broberg in there, and a guy hasn't played an NHL game since April 18th, and a couple of non-factor games. I'm like, this screams of the Dylan Holloway Game 4 Colorado Avalanche, and he ended up playing 3 minutes and doing. But people were clamoring for Holloway. Jay Woodcroft did it,
but then he didn't play.
No effect. He barely played. Yeah, and so I thought it had a lot of similarities to that. But again, it's okay to be wrong, and certainly was.
And that's just where Chris Knobloch's not afraid to break the norm, almost, if you will.
No, yeah,
and do different things. He wasn't scared to change his goaltending twice.
Yeah,
like it was a bold move to go away from Skinner when he did, that he didn't give Skinner that extra game. To me, it was also bold to not go stick with Calvin Pickard with the way Pickard played for
the right move was Skinner. We were saying it. The right move is you go to your guy.
I was on the other side because of how Pickard played those 2 games. But
and there was a lot of people a hole for
I know, but he was still playing well, and that you don't pull somebody necessarily when you do that. And I think a lot of other coaches would have stuck with the guy playing well. Knobloch went against that, put in the true starter, but went to a guy that was struggling in a crucial game, a win or go home. This series with all these changes that he's made, it's just constant making these changes, and they're hitting. And I don't think a lot of, as you've said, a lot of the other coaches that we've seen here in Edmonton we're I don't want to say capable. They were too scared almost even to make that change.
Yeah, too scared of the repeat. Like he's willing to take it. Like
he's trying to win by making a change, as opposed to scared that if he loses, he's going to get blamed for the changes that he makes.
Yeah,
which I think Jay too much was. If we lose, I'm going to get blamed for whatever this was.
Yeah, and I think that from a player's side of things, that's going to look. He trusts me to go in there at the most crucial time. Like that's going to give players confidence in those scenarios too, right? Like, he's not, aside from I'm sitting up in the press box. Our coach doesn't trust me at all, and I get it. If I do get into the lineup, I'm playing 2 minutes. Like they're giving guys opportunities to in crucial situations. So yeah, it's interesting. You don't see that very much, especially this time of year.
Do you guys notice even if they're down in games and they're chasing it, they need a goal, he'll throw out in the last 5 minutes like the third or fourth line with like 3.5 minutes to go. I've noticed that a few times, and then he'll go to the big 2. It's kind of
rest them up for the last little stretch, that last little bit of rest.
But he chucks the fourth line out there, and I'm like, what are those guys doing on the ice? And he's done it multiple times. So there's a strategy there, obviously, and it's working right now. So
these are 2 good coaches too. This is
2 great teams.
Yeah,
we knew this was going to be an up and down series. It's been that way. We're down to a best of 3, and I still don't know how these final 3 games are going to play out, because I could go see the Oilers roll the next 2. And win this in Dallas 6 at home. But I could go see Dallas going home, taking the game, coming back to Edmonton, doing it. We could see easily, there's no way of going. The only thing I know so far between the 2 series, when Florida wins, the Oilers win the next game. When the Rangers have won, Dallas has won the next game. So tonight will have us give us a little indication who might win tomorrow, depending what happens between the Rangers and the Panthers. But yeah, it's when the Rangers have won, the Stars have won, Panthers have won, the Oilers have won the next night.
Go Panthers, I guess.
It's going to either be Panthers Oilers final or Rangers Stars final based on that. We'll see how that goes. This is the EST Hangout presented by Two Hoots Hard Iced Tea. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Tom Gazzola with you here. You can jump into the nasty chat on YouTube or in the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. A reminder, the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tomorrow live from Hudson's West Edmonton Mall as Tommy will be there getting you set for Game 5 and then recapping Game 5. How was post last night? Like a nasty chat and all that?
Very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's interesting these playoffs. Like we've had a lot of new viewers and listeners. I'm seeing a lot of new phone numbers texting into the inbox, which is great. Minimal trolls from outside markets yesterday
Because they lost.
I think that's a good indicator. Like get a sense.
Was there a
of
lot
the
of
vibe.
Dallas ones in there?
There's been a few that have popped in, not a ton, nowhere near as many as the
Vancouver.
I didn't think there'd be
ones.
any because it's Dallas.
There's a few.
I know. That's why I'm so surprised the first few
okay.
times that it's happened. I was like, oh, geez. Except one, he's did it back-to-back days. He's really going with that Edmonton suck talks.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah, you're gonna get a 24-hour timeout. Like
It's also just
get
not creative.
We laugh at the stuff.
Like-
Like we're self-deprecating. We think it's funny, some of it, but when it's just mundane, boring, and it's repetitive, time out for you. So yeah, it was good. A really good vibe, good show, lots of fun. Zach Decum filled in for YouTube Trev admirably. He played a clip of like highlights, which is good for the big save of the
That's what
game.
he said.
So
But no audio. Okay, so we have to figure that out.
so while YouTube Trev was kissing butt with Dash in the park at the game, Zach Decum was taking the post game to a new level.
It's amazing.
Bromancing, yeah, petting kneecaps.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you were at the game last night?
No, I was
no, okay.
3, without my leather
Because
jacket.
Belsey was there.
Oh, wait, and I saw Belsey after.
He had a tweet.
And Sean McTavish, yeah.
He had a tweet with LaRock's kid, and Jason Smith.
Oh, nice.
Little picture. Yeah, Belsey
Some
was going.
Oilers alumni.
I saw, who was there that night? There was a lot of guys there.
Well, you Strutty.
Struddy, I saw Struddy and his family there. Jared Stoll, Chimera.
Did you play with Stoll?
No.
Was there? No.
No. He was, I think he came late at the end of the year because he played with Comrie in Kootenay, correct?
Yep.
So it was in Edmonton Ice, too.
Yeah,
briefly.
Yeah. So, and then, so I kind of met him at the end of the year or whatever, and he was working out here in the summer. Great, awesome guy. Looks like he could still play too. Jesus, he looks
He's a good
great.
broadcaster.
He's a great broadcaster. Yeah. So not as good as his wife, but good.
She's excellent. Actually, she does a podcast with Carissa Thompson.
Yeah.
They were just on, I think, Kimmel?
Kimmel.
Yeah.
Fallon? Kimmel
I think
Fallon?
it's Kim and maybe Fallon.
I love
But they were
Carissa
praising,
Thompson.
they were taking a little bit of credit, I think, for getting T Swift and Kelsey together or something.
Yeah.
There's been a few people taking credit for that one. And I saw a tweet, they're one of them now that are taking a
I'm
little
waiting
bit of
for
credit.
Lieutenant Eric to take credit for that match made in heaven.
And Kelsey was at the last start.
Him and Bryson DeChambeau. Cool that Bryson don't care that he was there. Don't cheer for the Oilers.
I
You don't
don't
want
care
that on you. You don't want that on you if you're the
That's
Edmonton
some
Oilers.
stank
They had a
you
few
don't
people
want.
there.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes was cheering for the Stars. Because he tweeted something about Kelsey and he's like, go Stars or something. I was like, I don't know why Patrick Mahomes is cheering for the Stars.
Weird
Like,
for a
I'd have
kid
to
that
go
lived
look.
in Edmonton.
Well, I'd have to go look closer and where his dad was or something, but maybe there's a connection to
think
Dallas
there's a
for him or something.
Texas connection,
Yeah,
maybe.
so I guess he went to school in Texas and all that,
Yeah.
so that does make more sense then.
It is Texas hockey, but he was an Edmontonian briefly.
Yeah.
Former Trapper
What's he
son.
doing? An idiot.
You traitor.
Just another reason to dislike Patrick Mahomes.
I like Patrick Mahomes.
I do too. I love that he's getting ripped for this like dad bod. I don't know if you've seen pictures of
Yeah.
him that he's not ripped.
Yeah, no,
and it's
he's
like,
not.
why are you ripping this guy? Because he's still going to go out there and torch your football team. Like he's going to go dominate and be in the
He's going
Super Bowl
like
again
this with
and
his
win
rings.
another ring. Who
Yeah.
cares if he's not the most perfect athlete in terms of body shape of what you're seeing? He's still a great quarterback that's going to beat your team.
Did you
gonna
see
know
him?
like burgers
I don't know
after.
if you probably didn't see this, but he was at the F1 race in Miami.
No.
He was on the field because they have like the kind of the paddock in the Hard Rock Stadium, and there was a guy up on like the second level in the seats, and Mahomes goes, hold on, I got to unbutton a little bit, and he unbuttoned his shirt and throws a rope to this guy, like hits him right in the numbers.
That's awesome.
And I was like, no warm up, no nothing, and he just bang. This guy
Laser.
hits him like right there. That's he's gonna torch some people this year.
Monaco. I know I'm shifting gears here.
Hey!
Uncle Gene. I enjoyed that race, and I was happy for Charles as a Maganese winning. It looks beautiful. The marina was crammed with these super yachts and stuff. But is there a way to keep that race in Monaco and to open it up? I know the streets are narrow, but I was watching the race and I'm like, maybe they could create a little more space here and there to have some overtakes or increase the overtakes, because it is a boring race. And like you mentioned, Verstappen was like kind of whatever.
Oh, he threw the towel. Like, him and George were like, let's just roll this in or whatever. It comes down to either rain, a bad pit stop. Can't rely on reliability anymore of the cars. Yeah, it's just a parade, essentially.
Basically,
right?
The cars are too big.
Yeah, these ones are. Yeah. But
the picture, there's a picture of just the different years of the cars and just size, and you compare it, and like that's the problem with Monaco. The cars are now just too big. It's impossible to pass there. If you got the cars back to a different size, you get more passing.
Well, look at the crash, right? There's no way that should be right there. It shouldn't be a crash at that point.
Good on the engineering of the vehicle, because that car was totaled.
And he's walking around. You see, it's just the cockpit, and he's going, "Hey, you guys all right?" How are you alive at this point? Because that was a hard hit into the wall. You could see the photographers like ducking for cover or whatever. I mean,
who got in there? Was it Magnussen?
Yeah, but Hulkenberg was on the other side.
Ocon. Let's talk about Ocon.
He might not be in a seat by Montreal.
Yeah, they're ready to rip him out of there, right?
He's being an idiot, is what he's being. He's every chance he gets to like crash into his teammate, he does it. It's crazy. I think you'll see he won't find a seat next year just because of these antics. So, but Monaco, I love the qualifying. Because when they always show the old Senna, like the masterful lap of him, and it's very like, I don't know if anyone's ever played the game or whatever and tried to race in Monaco, even like virtually. It's unbelievable that they can get through one lap with going at those speeds, right? So it's impressive, but again, it's not the. There'll be a lot more fun next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend when they're in Montreal. That's always fun.
Couple comments in the nasty chat want to get to. The Worm saying Kansas City Chiefs own the Buffalo Bills, Maddie. Don't know why I care that they own the Buffalo Bills. I'm a Ravens fan. Also, I did say the Chiefs own everybody. So they might own the Bills, they own the Ravens, they own everyone.
Maybe they'll own a team in the NHL.
Who's this new guy in Buffalo? The receiver. That's a rookie guy that's in all these interviews. He's very charismatic.
Bills rookie wide receiver. I think draft someone.
In the meantime,
Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
projected. The headline I got is he's projected to lead Bills in receiving as a rookie. Oh yeah, because they traded Stephon Diggs to Houston.
Yeah,
that's always fun. I always have to do that catch up of what did I forget? And they had Stephon Diggs. Well, it's just that was surprising. This kid.
No, he's very, very charismatic in his interviews. He's talking about his jacket and he asked the reporter, where do you think I got this? And the guy said some like bougie store, and he looked at him like he had 3 hits. He goes, "No, man, Macy's." It's awesome. And he
Macy's is good.
Yeah, and he goes, I need to go back and get a red and blue one, and I buy my clothes in the summer. And he goes, "I'll take you." Or whatever. But then he goes, "But what about Thanksgiving sales?" So he goes, No, Thanksgiving. Everyone's looking for jackets. Then I buy them I'm my mom. I buy them in the summer when they're on.
Smart.
It was
out of season.
Yeah, it was great. He was talking about cookies.
Paydays are the best.
Yeah, he was talking about playing the guitar, like golf. He's just highly, highly charismatic. If that translates on the field, he's going to have one hell of a year.
That's awesome. I like him already, and I don't even know him.
No, wait till you just look him up. It's really cool to see a young guy, not seems like already, I don't know, not take himself too seriously, but then have an idea of finances, and it's a good deal. I'm a fan. Maybe I'm a Bills fan this year. I don't know.
Calvin C, Maddie, how cold does it have to be for pants to come back on? Sub 10 degrees for a high, or if it's
It
raining.
was 8 coming in, but it's
But not
supposed
for
to
the
get to
high.
like 17.
I look at the high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always I look checking what's it going to get to today. I don't
Yeah.
care what it's like in the morning because it's the coldest.
It
Well,
was
not the, like
so windy yesterday.
It was breezy.
hated that wind. VR Montenegro, Tommy at Hudson's tomorrow. Nasties assemble.
All right.
L Short, hi Edmonton meet. What did you guys make of Bieksa's comments?
I want to talk about this.
Because it was funny seeing the picture of
Kelly Rudy?
his face.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, whoa. What do you want to talk about with the Bieksa comment?
Okay. I thought it was funny. I'll start with that. And I'm like, okay. And I think he was stumbling and he caught himself and he just rolled with it. And he did a pretty good job because I think he was trying to say Edmonton media, but he said meat. And he's like, oh, I called them Edmonton meat because they're raw, red, and dumb or whatever it was. And I was like, that's good. Like good recovery and funny and stuff. And he also, yesterday, Ron had an Oilers jersey in studio on like a hanger or something, and he tried to put it down.
He was just going to put it down on the floor.
Yeah, and
next to the desk.
Kevin didn't let him.
No.
Nice, like that's smart.
He's winning himself over with other fans.
I know,
This
and-
guy who was a Canuck.
and then so
know.
and
we're
they
getting,
hated.
And a horrible Canuck.
we're
at
getting
that.
shredded in the nasty chat and the inbox. People be like, "Oh, you guys are mean." I'm like, "What's going on here?" We were running some audio from the interviews, and I was like, I have to see what Bieksa said, and I saw it, and I was like, "Okay, good job, Kevin." Like, but secondly, you are now media.
Not Edmonton media.
Sure, but he's media. And then the other thing, too, with Oilers fans, I mean, they're in a great mood, deservedly so, enjoying the moment, a big win for the team, evening up the series. But one of the most detested players in the last, 15 years, from an Edmonton standpoint, was Kevin Bieksa. He was a dick. He was a good player. He was effective. And he was kind of standoffish, not always known as the nicest guy. And Oilers fans hated him. He does this thing last night, and they are just like, Kevin Bieksa is the best. I love Kevin Bieksa. Oh, Bieksa. And it's like 5 years ago, you hated his guts. You hated him so much. And what happened to that time? So the low-hanging fruit, Bieksa took it and devoured it.
But didn't he wear didn't he have dry-sidle socks on
Again,
last year? Yeah.
this is calculated.
He's
And
done a
that's
great
why
job.
he's
Yeah.
very smart.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, because a lot of the hate for the media then last night with that comes from towards Darnell Nurse largely. I will defend the media on that one in that it wasn't just the media.
Thank you.
The Darnell Nurse hate, actually, if anything, I will say there's a lot of people in the media that have defended Darnell Nurse more than a lot of fans. And there's a lot
Yes.
more fans that have come out of Darnell Nurse for a long time here,
Yes.
ripping Darnell Nurse. And there's been few people in the media that have defended Darnell Nurse almost to a fault, where when he is playing bad, they're still defending him, and it's like they haven't gone the other way.
Yep.
That of the hate on Darnell Nurse, you cannot be pointing at and going, see, the Edmonton media sucks. This is an example of Edmonton sucks at
Yeah.
that point in
Yeah.
terms of
yeah,
the
yeah.
one player.
Yeah.
Where it's everyone's been going after Darnell Nurse, and do not single out the media for that one specifically.
Exactly.
There are other moments where you could come at the Edmonton media, which we're a part of, and say, you guys have been a problem for this. 100% fair.
Sure.
On the Darnell Nurse one specifically, I will say the fans, certain portion of the fan base has started it for a long time of the hate on him. And it's at the very least for what's happened this playoffs or this week, it's an equal share of heat on
Yep.
Darnell Nurse. So you cannot just be like, take that media. No.
Yep.
That's on both.
Exactly.
And I'm sure Darnell Nurse knows it's from both. So to Kevin Bieksa on that one, you can't just call it the media for that. That's just overall. There's been a lot of put on Darnell Nurse over the last couple of days from everyone.
Yep, exactly. There were people firing him into the moon after the game the other night, and I was just like, relax. There's people
Moon.
like,
Sun, wasn't it?
Oh, the sun, yeah. Yeah, even worse. But there was people trading him. He's like, they're getting rid of him in the offseason. And Cass and I read those texts, and Cass and I were just shaking our heads. We're like, you can't trade him. Do you know how ridiculous your comment is? Yes, the contract isn't the easiest to swallow. Yes, he needs to be better. Yes, he's been absolutely putrid this postseason. And yes, he needs a big game next game. And he had it. That's good.
Yeah,
But-
he just needs he needs 6 more really good games.
Exactly. And
That's it.
he totally redeems himself if he does
Funny,
that.
I had a non-hockey folk question from someone, and they said, Do you think? And most of those questions I like whatever, but I found that this question was a little bit different. They said, "Do you think the success of Bouchard this year has hurt Darnell Nurse? Where he's doing that? He said, should that be me? What the all the offense and things. Obviously they're not the same, but I wonder." Sometimes the success of other players, maybe that's caused him to try to do a little bit too much, especially these playoffs.
Yeah.
Bouchard's, if this keeps going, he's going to be in the conversation for the Conn Smythe.
Right.
I wonder if that's maybe trying to.
Darnell was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's a good point because 2 years ago he was the guy.
Exactly.
And now he's the third guy.
There was the first non-hockey folk question that actually I pondered and was thinking about. And I go, I wonder, not in a bad way, but just in the fact that maybe he's trying to do a little bit more because he sees the success and how well other guys that play the same position on his team are doing.
Okay, I want to read this ridiculous text.
Awesome.
Okay, so I got a great text after.
First time texter here. Maybe you guys should apologize to Nurse. The Canadian media is outrageous. Yeah, we know this. This is well established, but apologize? Maddie just outlined it eloquently. A huge portion of the heat has come from the fan base. Yes, us as media called out his game because it was awful. He got softballs yesterday and decided beforehand, it was a preemptive strike, that he was going to do what he did with his scrum. Apologize. If there was something out of line, yes, individuals will apologize. They'll take Darnell aside or Darnell will take them aside. That happens. It happens. But maybe you guys should apologize to Nurse. The Canadian media is outrageous. As a blanket statement is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Thank you for the text. Thanks for watching and listening, though.
No, that's... With the Nurse one, that one, it's everyone. Everyone's involved. Ben texting in 780-289-9999. We love Bieksa for the same reason we hate him when he played, because he's great at his job. Can't wait till he takes over for McLean. Keep Gazdick on the panel forever, too. Well, he won't ever take over for McLean because he's not a host.
Yeah.
No.
You get a host to do that
That's
one.
a different
It's a completely
beast.
different role.
Yeah.
And then he wouldn't be the same because he's having to direct things as opposed to...
Amber's good.
I don't mind Dave
Dave
Amber.
is great. He's fantastic.
There's no one like James Duthie. And TSN or Sportsnet wanted Duthie and couldn't get him, and they didn't get anyone from TSN 10 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Duthie's great, too.
He's the best host in the country.
I'll disagree with that, but I think
Who's
he's
better?
one of the best. There's some really good ones. I think McLean's probably still the tippy top.
Still, Duthie to me is better than McLean right now.
But we're splitting hairs here.
I don't think we're for right now. I don't think I'm splitting hairs between Duthie and McLean. I think McLean isn't as good as he once was, and Duthie's by far still just the best host in the country.
There are no Jim Nantz. Actually, there
In the country.
Yeah, I know. Good point.
In the country. I'm not going to bring the U.S. into here because if I'm bringing the U.S. into here, it's not even close. It's Ernie Johnson.
Who's Ernie Johnson?
TNT panel.
Oh, right.
Not even close.
Bow tie guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I
even close to me.
I like Rich Eisen.
He's great too.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like now if we're going to bring in the U.S.
I don't even know why I'm
changes
getting
everything.
worked up about
Changes
this.
everything.
They're great. They're all amazing.
Chad Urschel's texted, but not me. He texted Eric, and Eric sent it to me.
Oh.
I heard that hairy-legged boy is twisting my words in the media. You could tell him I never said the wind didn't have an impact on the ball. I said while he's taking his 15th practice swing at the tee box, the wind isn't going to have an impact on how he plays because when you're swinging well over 100, your shots aren't consistent. Going left, right, high, long, short, maybe straight, the wind can help or hurt you, and you won't know because you didn't hit it consistently. When you get better, you have it to factor it in. When you're crappy, you just need to focus on making good contact. I'm coming for him at the tournament. Well, Chad, no, you actually said the wind doesn't matter in the air. That's what you told me at the time. Maybe later that's when you went. You were we got into an argument about whether the ball will be impacted in the air because of wind, and you got to take into a factor whether the wind, like how it's going to take. If the wind's in your face, you got to take in factor what club you're going to use because it's going to impact how far the ball goes and stuff. And you were saying that wasn't it. So clearly he's not listening because somebody texted him. I'm guessing about that. Also, text me, bro. Come at me. Come at you have my number. We're texting this week.
I'd love to see you guys in a cage match.
We get heated. We're competitive.
I know.
We'll play like
guy.
Whatever game it is. It always ends up being like the two of us wanting to beat the hell out of each other. So yeah, don't text Eric. Text me, Chad.
Come at me, bro.
Figure it out.
Wait, what's Collingwood Rob got? Come on, Tom. Remember how much Oiler fans hated Cassian for breaking Gagne's jaw, and then a few years later, he is a beloved former Oiler player now. Hated him as a player, but Bieksa is an excellent analyst. Remember the time Vern Fiddler mocked Bieksa and Vainio lost it? Yes. Yeah. Good text, Collingwood Rob. That's true.
Yeah, he's
funny.
He's got just the right amount of I don't really care. You know, like
he is funny
and
too.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
and he's like, well, did you see? I remember seeing he did that whole thing when he was in Anaheim, where he did the security guard thing, and you could see, who was it? Getzlaff. Like he was doing the wand and was like going up in the inside of his leg and laying on the ground, and you could see Getzlaff wanting to just kill this guy.
Yeah,
and he was finally figured out it was him, and right then I go, oh my God, he's probably one of the best teammates ever. Yeah. Like to be a guy that does that. So no,
that was a great
and he's insightful too. Yeah. He's really good with the I love his view on things. I think it comes from a perspective of a physical defenseman who played the game hard and had some success offensively too. It's a very unique kind of perspective that he provides to fans that I don't think, even if you go across multiple sports, it's one of the best.
Outside of Gage and Strudwick, Bieksa and Gazdic are the best as the Sportsnet brought on.
Gazdic's like his progression is crazy good. Yeah. Like he is, everything he says is I find myself listening to. Like he's come light years, and I'm not saying he was poor, but he's really, really good at his job.
Well, he's caught the attention of a Sportsnet producer somewhere because he started the year doing regional for the Oilers and some other things. Yeah. And he was supposed to come here for Hockey Helps the Homeless in May.
And he couldn't.
And then all of a sudden he couldn't because they're throwing him on the national broadcast. And it's just the regular now on the national broadcast. It's just, that's how good he got.
He wanted to do Gaz and Gaz this year. He's like, hey, let's look at doing Gaz and Gaz one or two times a month, and we'll find a sponsor. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm pretty busy, but sure, with you I'll do it. And then he's just crickets since. I'm like, he's fine.
Yeah.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Two Hoots, Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Tom Gazzola. Quickly also back to Urschel before I move on from him. He also is too scared to join us at Hockey Helps the Homeless. We told him, come on, jump on.
Oh, he was on the other team.
Yeah, but he never came back to jump on the show for even like 10 minutes. He's like, I'll be right back. And then he never came back.
Come on, buddy.
Edmonton Stingers, they're 2-0. They beat Ottawa yesterday. They won against Calgary last week. They're in Montreal tonight at 6 o'clock. You can catch that game live right here at Edmonton Sports Talk on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as our channels on TuneIn and iHeartRadio as the look to go 3-0 to start the year. Montreal 0-2 to start the year. So let's go Stingers, and hopefully could come home on Sunday, which will be their home opener, with a nice 3-0 record. And they're doing a nice thing. If you go to the game at 4 o'clock at the Expo Center, you can watch the Oilers game after right there. So
awesome.
If everyone's going down there, because the Oilers game will be at 6 o'clock for that one. 6:30 tomorrow, 6 o'clock on Sunday. And I think if Game 7 is necessary, I think I saw 6:30. I'll have to double check that one though. But you can go to the Stingers game and then watch the Oilers game right after, which is pretty awesome.
Great to have those broadcasts on our station.
Yep.
Live sports on our station the way it should be. We're building that up. Riverhawks coming up as well. And you know what? If you haven't been to a Stingers game, they've renovated Expo Center. They've done a very good job. New seats in there, fresh coat of paint, new lighting. And the parking is free, which is important. And they have some great deals. It's not going to break the bank if you go to a game.
There's booze in the concessions at Commonwealth now too.
So it's all just one spot.
Yeah. Well, they had Coors Light, Belgian Moon, a couple fizzies.
Molson products.
Fizzies.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was pretty neat. It's kind of messed me up a little bit in the kitchen though.
Oh.
I don't have as much counter space.
Oh, it's messing with your flow.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go for it.
The burger you created the other day, I was marveling at it. It looked delicious.
Well, it's funny because I do it all the time. So there's a lot of stuff back there, right?
Okay.
So I'll after I've kind of got everything prepped or whatever and things, then I'll make myself something.
The goal line stand.
Yeah, the goal line stand. So I'll go get the Like I'll go out front and get the nacho cheese. I'll put that in a thing, and then there's lettuce, tomatoes, and salsa and stuff. So I'll double patty it up, get a little bit more bacon, layer it all into
I'm requesting one of these,
the
please.
burger. Oh yeah, I'll make you guys one. But I'm waiting for Commonwealth to approach me about the burger that we can provide.
I wanted like the big sign to be like all food, like executive chef, menu by
Joaquin
executive
Gage.
chef. Joaquin Gage.
Wait till you see my chef jacket that I'm getting customly made.
I'm not surprised about. I was gonna say like you have to have like a leather smock or something.
No, yeah, it's I'm excited. It'll be fun.
You're the celebrity cook at Commonwealth Stadium every game.
Yeah,
There's a lot to do at Commonwealth this year, or around the Elks this year. You can go get one of Gager's burgers. EST, we're gonna have a tailgate spot.
I'm looking forward
you can
to
go
this.
visit YTT or Zach to come, or maybe Tom,
I'm
or
gonna
maybe
stop by,
Eric.
yeah.
They'll be there at. We'll have a tailgate spot. Myself and Jay will be at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road. Pre and post game show will be from there. We'll actually have a special hangout from Centric Casino. I have an event happening at noon there on Monday. So me and Jay are going to be at Centric Casino for the hangout on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
And then our first kickoff show of the year will be June 8th, next Saturday, barring an Oiler game. Oilers, the Stanley Cup final will be game one. That will potentially mess with things, although Murray said earlier this week that the Elks would and the CFL would maybe change that game, which they absolutely should. It
Smart.
should start earlier if they can't move it to a different day. But we'll see what happens there. But EST, we've got you covered when it comes to the Elks all season long. Time now for Swing to Win with EST, the $100,000 hole-in-one contest qualifying opportunity here on the Hangout. We're trying to qualify. Well, we're qualifying people every day on the Nielsen Show, on the Hangout, on Lock Shop, Two Guys, Oil Stream, as well as on the weekends with Hello Hockey and the VIP Golf Show. The next morning show after the previous day or day and the weekends qualifying opportunities. We'll call one of those qualifiers, and they will then be one of the potential contestants swinging for $100,000. July 3rd at the Ranch Golf and Country Club, hole 17, 180 yards out. The $100,000 hole-in-one, also presented by Golftown. Swing big this Father's Day. Find your dad or heck, even yourself the perfect gift at Golftown. Whether a season pro, just starting out, Golftown has everything you need to get going. Clubs, accessories, apparels, tech. Got you covered. All the top brands as well. Callaway, TaylorMade, Puma, Travis Matthews, everything. Garmin. And if you can't fully decide, what do you got? Travis Matthews?
Yeah,
Nice.
this is from Golftown.
If you can't decide, the person you want to get for is very picky, you don't know what they want, just get the Golftown gift card. It's the way to go. For this Father's Day, give the gift of golf. Visit them in store or at golftown.com for more details. The keyword today, ROM. ROM, as in John Rahm. R-A-H-M. ROM. Text it to 780-218-9999, and you will go into a draw to be the qualifier for the Hangout today with Swing to Win with EST, the $100,000 hole-in-one, brought to you by Golftown at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
I love the way Carlos Sainz in Drive to Survive when he goes golfing was describing himself as like, he's like, I'm John Rahm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you're John Rahm. You're John Rahm. And he's like, I'm John Rahm.
Yeah.
He looks like he'd be fun to golf with. Not John Rahm.
Sainz.
Sainz. I like Carlos Sainz. I find him like
Leclerc, Lando are golfers.
If I'm going with Lando. I think it would be a hoot.
I'd
with
go
him.
Charles.
Really?
Charles.
I don't know about Charles.
I like Charles.
I don't know. I like all my feed is just inundated with obviously Monaco stuff. Like that night, like the parties that night.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Like everyone was dressed to the nines, and just the glamour and the Rolls Royces pulling in with the suicide open, like just.
Did you see the yacht with the Rolls Royce on
Come
it?
on.
Or was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Did you see the accident?
No.
There was some boat that crashed into a bunch of
guy came in and went in between. It was like a little kind of dingy
but
thing,
it caused some damage.
Yeah, went over. Yeah,
and it came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that is the best part about Monaco. It's not the race; it's watching everything around the race, and you're just going, "Look at all that money."
Like, where do they come from?
Saw there was a girl on a treadmill on the boat, running with the race going on. Obviously getting ready for the night.
I got to stay fit. And look at these cars going around.
It's crazy, but no.
That would be.
They were talking about how a lot of those boats are rented, right? They rent them, so it's, and then whatever. It's still millions of dollars
Yeah.
to get it there, to park it, to have the parties, because each individual boat has its own party on it.
Right.
Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna put Shanks on the side for a little bit. We need to get an EST yacht at
An
Monaco
EST
one year.
yacht. Wow.
We're gonna be there one year. We'll put our EST sign on there to get all the attention, and we'll have our own party. Everyone will. We'll
Nobody
be
will
the,
even
we'll be
say
the
hello.
talk of Monaco.
Yeah, We'll have to win Lotto Max just for the weekend.
Yeah. Hey, look
Nothing
at
to
those.
show for it.
Look at those Canadian guys in their Levis jeans.
Oh, that's great.
Levis jeans.
I
No,
would
that's
love if I had unlimited funds for a week or a weekend. It would be I would want to experience Monaco because Gage, like you said, the pomp and pageantry, and then the fact that it has motorsport as the hub of it all.
What's Cannes Film Festival would also be one for me.
Yeah.
That I think would be like a really fun time.
Yeah. But I mean, Monaco would be great because it starts so early, too,
Yeah.
right? You'd be there for a week. It would be a mess.
just
by
to
that
do
Sunday.
it. Yeah.
So we just need to keep growing EST's brand,
Right.
and that's one of the goals now, is to have the yacht at Monaco.
Yeah.
And we'll qualify someone on
Let's
the
sell
show
it for
to
$1
come
billion.
join us.
Yeah.
We'll qualify 2 people to join us on the yacht.
Yeah.
Can William Huff do yachts?
Bruce.
We need you to wrap this yacht
Can
for
you
us.
wrap this yacht?
Yeah. There's an update from Rip City Step on the Stingers watch
Okay.
party. Thank you, Step, for sending it in. Watch party update from the Stingers. Due to circumstances outside of the Stingers' control, in the event of an NHL Western Conference Final Game 6 this Sunday, the game will not be shown on the screen at the Expo Center. Tip-off for the home opener will remain at 4 p.m.
I bet it's due to union rules with security and stuff because there's only so many hours or whatever.
I'm
And
thinking something
when you
different,
just so you know, because I've been there multiple times for dance to park. It's not the same. It's not. You have to get what's the one they have now in the city, whatever it is, honk, or make sure you get that and
the
to parking pass
really?
to get in there. Yeah, do that because they switched it mid competition. I think it was Fever.
Yeah, because there was supposed to be a change for the
Yeah, there's this whole change. So but buy your ticket right away. Don't go in and go, okay, it's all right. I'll buy it after. If you don't buy it right away, there's people going in and they're checking right away when you
This
park.
is the buy the ticket, buy the free parking. You need that
so
validation.
Get whatever the app is. Make sure don't just go into the game and start watching. Buy your the first thing you need to do is buy your ticket, or else you're going to get ticketed.
Good advice.
You're not buying a ticket. They're free parking at Stingers.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Or they were
'cause,
last year.
Unless they
Unless they
Okay,
changed
if it
it.
is, fine.
I think that was one of the things the Stingers got was
Free parking.
Free parking at
Okay.
Expo.
Well, then don't worry about it. But
Let me
if you're
double
going
check
there
this.
for Comic Con or whatever,
All parking will be free during each Stingers game. There's
Okay.
no need to register your plate or pay at the stations. That's on their website.
That's easy.
okay.
Big Maple texts in, I never knew I needed to go to the Cannes Film Festival until after I watched Entourage.
Oh,
Yes, those
yeah.
guys lived that. I love
That's
that
a great show.
Yeah.
That was solid.
It was totally bro
Oh,
central, but I was like, I'm hooked. This is my Young and the Restless.
But it was
or
kind
whatever.
of like Mark Wahlberg's undocumented.
Yeah.
Like he was part of it. It was kind of his
Well, they
autobiography.
they had the one scene in the first season where Vinny Chase and his entourage walk by Mark Wahlberg and the guys that the show was based off of, and it was like they like stared each other down,
Yeah.
and that was kind of meant to like an ode to where the show came from. But like Turtle was great in that show. Johnny Drama was great in that show.
Victory.
E.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ari.
the real life I forgot his name, is a dick.
Really?
Yeah,
He's a
not.
huge dick. Kevin Conley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big beef with him at Barstool.
Yeah.
I see now because he went golfing with Ryan Whitney for a little video thing they were doing. And who's the guy that did the hole in one?
He was
Jersey
pissed.
Jerry
Yeah, he
was
pissed.
pissed
Yeah.
with Ryan Whitney for having him on.
Really?
And I ended up watching the video of it, and like Kevin Connolly stiffed him money or something.
Yeah.
And I guess then it came out like there was it might have been Matt Stafford's wife, or there's another quarterback's wife or something came out, and she also ripped on Kevin O'Connelly or something.
Kevin Connolly,
and he just was getting absolutely pummeled. And Ryan Whitney pulled the video down from Spittin' Chicklets in defense, like solidarity of Barstool and stuff. And then it was around March Madness time, I remember, because then it was like Jersey Jerry couldn't let it go, and he's like speaking at Ryan Whitney during March Madness, and Whitney's like, and it was this huge deal.
But
then
Conley
in
is
the end,
an Islanders
Kevin
fan.
Conley is a huge dick by all accounts.
It's beyond the Islanders thing.
Yeah, like he's just an asshole to people.
Do you know that he ran with and grew up with DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire?
No, I did not.
So that
also heard Tobey Maguire's a dick.
And if they're all kind of cut from the same cloth, like maybe that's
Well, what's the other guy on there? Stick. With
guy?
Martin Brodeur, old hockey player.
Sean Avery.
Sean Avery,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean he's a wonderful person too.
Struddy will tell you some good stories.
Who might be dating? I know pop culture way too much. One of the Mary Kate or Ashleys.
Oh, really?
There was a picture this weekend showing them out in the Hamptons together.
Really?
Yeah. Again, I know too
Isn't
much
one of
about
them-
pop culture sometimes.
Isn't one of them married to like a gazillionaire? That's like,
But they're gazillionaires.
oh, I guess you're right.
Gazillionaires
they'd be
find
millionaires.
gazillionaires.
They'd be millionaires.
No, they're like worth $1 billion. Do you know like the
then?
Mary Kate and Ashley series? Like they had the
Yeah.
little movies that they
even
would do?
Their clothing line was huge.
Yeah,
too.
like they're worth at least $1 billion together.
Yeah, easily.
Ashley Olsen.
You got it, dude.
Oh. 250 million is their network. Combined 500.
Yeah.
So 250
Not
each. Wow,
bad.
that's way more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was
thought
expecting
it
maybe
was
like
more.
Yeah, so did I.
No, when I was thinking about them, I was thinking it was maybe like we're talking about 50, 60, 70 million net worth, but no, we're talking about 500 combined, 250.
That's a talented family too, because wasn't the Scarlet Witch? Or,
Yeah, that's their little sister.
Their little sister.
Or youngest sister. My brother gets mad when I say my little brother.
Oh,
And he's
Why?
like, I'm your younger brother. My younger brother showed up mid-show pregame yesterday and kept talking to me. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Go to the game. Like, leave me alone. He's like, do you have a beer? Can I have a beer? Can I take your
You should just do
extra
Gage and just take the
yeah.
beer.
Just take. The
Yeah, exactly. Like
Just
Gager
go
comes in,
take
he
it.
sits down, watches the TV in the office, and just like drinks beer. And my brother, like, can I grab your extra keys? I forgot the ones that you gave me. And I'm like, dude, I'm on the air. Go do. You're 32 years old. Go do stuff. Be an adult. Thank you. I'm like, you dork. But he gets mad. If I say little brother, he'll be like, I'm your younger brother.
But who's taller?
Me.
Yeah, so it still works.
I'm bigger.
I guess thinking, well, my brother's
Stronger.
bigger than me. He's taller than me. He's
Yeah.
stronger than me. I just got the
Smarter.
smarts.
Better looking.
I've got the smarts. I
Yeah.
will gladly say that one. I'm smarter than my brother, but he's got everything else.
Yeah.
But he's taller and older than me, so I'm both younger and little brother.
The old bull.
I'm bigger, stronger than all my siblings. Smarter.
How many do you have?
0.
Oh. Son of a gun.
But I'm bummed. Great joke.
Joaquin.
I reached out to, oh, there we go. Our qualifier, Michael. He is not my brother. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. But Michael is our qualifier for the $100,000 hole-in-one presented by Golf Town at the Ranch Golf and Country Club. So, Michael, keep your phone on tomorrow morning on the morning show. Gager's in with Lieutenant Eric for the morning show. Them and YTT will give someone a call, and if you are the qualifier, they will call you, let you know that you're going to be one of the contestants with the possible chance to swing for $100,000 at the Ranch on July 3rd. 2 more chances to qualify today on the Lock Shop with Huss, and then on 2 guys and a goalie with myself, Joaquin Gage and Matt Cassian, right here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio, as well as those watching on YouTube. Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. The green hats, they've been ordered.
Yes.
I have a potential due date of June 7th for them. So we'll see how that comes. Chelsea, give me a little bit of update here. I also have an update from Schmitty.
Schmitty dropped off a bunch of booze.
That's for Dusty, for his golf trip that he's going on. Yeah, that's not for us. Me and Zach were told very specifically yesterday that that's from Dusty. Like, don't touch that. That's for me. And well, he was first telling Zach it. So I was like, well, I could take it and just blame Zach.
Very
All
true.
that birdie booze is for.
There was a box. It's gone
It's a
now.
case.
There's no way it's sitting there because
Yeah.
Dusty's gone.
Oh,
Okay, there's
He would
a
have taken
case.
home. There was
40 or two.
Yeah, there's a couple 40s
Well, they're
in there.
doing 40s now.
Are they?
Yeah.
The 1.14 liters, 40 ounces plastic bottles are live at Strathcona Spirits. $40 a bottle. It's $39.22 bottle. The next run of Birdie Boos will be plastic Mickeys. Same look, but in plastic, so a little bit easier easier to throw in your golf bag.
It does kind of look like the Water of Life from Dune, though, does it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like that is something that what's her name? Lady Jessica.
Yeah.
She's drinking that, and then she's Paul Atreides
Paul
is
needed
drinking
to do
that,
it
and
to open
you're pulling
his-
that from the worm.
Yeah.
If we're doing the dork comparisons,
It's not a dork. Don't rip
Stop
Dune.
it.
It looks like Slurp juice.
No,
from
do you know what else
Fortnite.
it looks like? I'll just throw this out there.
What?
There's no reason I'm throwing this out there. Just
What?
saying.
Go.
It looks like a blue Gatorade or a Powerade.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and put that in one of those bottles. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No specific reason I'm saying that. No specific
I
reason
think
at
it's
all.
a dork comparison, so I throw one out there too.
I'm talking about Gatorade and Powerade part.
Oh.
No specific reason why I'm saying that one.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
You don't
no
like
real
Dune?
I haven't
never
seen
watched
it
it.
yet.
Did you?
He
Did you
did
download
give
them
it
off
to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He gave it to me.
I
I
gave
have
them to
to watch
Rima
it.
too
I
from
have to watch
Whale and the
it.
Wolf.
It's fantastic.
They're great.
I'll
Now it's
probably
streaming now.
enjoy it, but I still think it's a dork comparison.
That's fine.
So I thought I would equal that dork
You
comparison.
can't
with a
say
dork
that because
comparison.
are you a sci-fi guy?
I don't mind sci-fi at all.
Well, this is kind of like the birthplace of
It
most-
created Star Wars.
Yeah,
Dune
Is
did.
what people said.
Basically.
People say that Star Wars is a ripoff of Dune.
a lot of things George Lucas got from Dune.
What about Indiana Jones?
What-
Oh, that's not. From
That's not
Dune.
sci-fi.
I thought you were going to say George Lucas like used something else and got the.
No.
But okay, real quick, Star Wars has a lot of like World War II elements in
yeah,
it as well.
from the stormtroopers. Yeah,
yeah, and
you
like
could-
even like the some of the fight scenes, battle scenes
Yeah.
from the cockpit and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, regardless.
Jasmine, the fact that I didn't know Sean Avery's dating Mary Kate Olsen has brought new respect for Manny on his TMZ takes. I have a weird. I don't know. I attract the pop culture. I see it all the time on Reddit or something. I just know it.
Caitlin Bristow was in town.
I don't know who that one is.
She was a bachelorette. She's from here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know those ones.
She used to work at Cactus Club. She was awesome. Super
no,
nice girl.
Yeah, she was at an Oiler game. They showed
Yeah.
her. I don't know anything about bachelors,
She was very
and bachelorettes,
bubbly.
and all
I
that
always
stuff.
thought she was great.
Also, just a quick one of the bottling shop staff for Birdie Boo's, they had this message that Schmitty sent us, quote, "A few young people have come in and be like, are you guys at the grocery store or something? Because my mom's in her 60s drinking it like it's water and acting like it's something I should have already known about." Which then reminds me, Kevin, he was on the Hangout a couple weeks ago. What did he have? He was selling it.
What?
He was at a store and he basically convinced people to buy it. He sent that to me and Dusty. I gotta find that now. Sorry, give me a second on this one.
Okay.
Because I gotta go through my text messages to find it.
Okay.
Here it is. He's like, so I was at a Safeway liquor store looking for Birdie Booze. There were 3 young ladies standing there at the bottle and they were talking. What is this? I think it's a golf drink. I wonder if it's any good. Me being me, I piped up, let me tell you kids about it. And I gave them the Cole's notes on EST the Lager. They loved the story. They each took a bottle and the one says, I think my dad listens to them. I'll buy him one too.
Nice.
So there's Kevin just preaching the entire EST gospel to them.
Round of clicks.
Maybe
round of
I
clicks.
should do that. You know how you go into the liquor store on the Fridays or whatever, and they have the little booth, and the guy.
There's the one by us has it.
Yeah?
It's the best. And like you
Samples?
just get a bunch
Yeah.
of wine samples
But
and they
I
give you
mean-
nice pours.
Just I'll be the Birdie Booze guy now at my local Sobeys.
Who's that guy? I don't know. He's always here on
He's always
Sundays.
It's been a while since I've gone to them, but the one at the Superstore liquor store in Ice District.
do that?
They'll do, and they'll always say like, "Oh, you don't have to come and buy anything; just come in for the thing." And I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll gladly
They're
come in,
very
get a
friendly.
couple of samples of wine, and leave.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
One day I popped in there. I think somebody was helping me move something. I'm like, I need some beer. So I quickly ran over. It was like 11:30 in the morning. And I picked up, it was before the launch of 6 o'clocker. I picked up some SYC.
Yeah.
I think Clock Out was the beer. And the guy's like, hey, Tom, what's going on? I'm like, hey. He's like, oh, good beer. This is great, local. And I'm like, yeah, it's good. I need some really quickly. Someone's going over to help me with something. And he's like, you know who's just here? I'm like, who? It's 11:30 in the morning. He's like, Mac T bought the same beer. And I was like, oh my God, I need to talk to Craig about this. And then I'm like, Mac, what are you doing going to the liquor store at 11? He's like, I had nothing to do that day.
Perfect.
Well, the flip side is he should have won. What are you doing to go to a liquor
Yeah.
store?
No, he didn't. He just was like, party's on. I'm like, "Yeah."
If you are at Sobeys or Safeway liquor stores and they don't have Birdie Booze, ask for it. Before it was just the Edmonton area had them in stock. Now other people can have them in stock. In I think Alberta. Schmitty
Birdie
was telling
Booze?
yeah, Birdie Booze. Schmitty was telling us yesterday.
Oh.
So if you're in if you're outside of the city of Edmonton and you go into Safeway or Sobeys liquor and they don't have it, just ask for it. and just keep going in asking for it, and then they will go order it in if they get enough requests. But now, like, they're going to try Edson, Hinton, and stuff, and get to other places. If you're in Calgary or something, go to a Sobeys Safeway Liquor and ask for it.
Yeah.
And they'll have it out in the 6 o'clock lager. They'll just keep ordering that.
6 o'clock lager still exclusive to Sobeys? Or
No, we've passed that threshold. So
Yeah.
if you go to another liquor store, you could probably just keep pestering them and ask for it.
Yeah.
But until June 30th, $12.99.
Yes.
Sobeys Safeway Liquor. For the 4-pack. That's until June 30th. It's their playoff special. And that you're not getting anywhere else.
Yeah. I had Bukowskis and Amber over 2 nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. And
Bukowskis?
yeah.
That's
we're
cool.
good buddies. And they're like, well, Bukowskis is like, I need to try this beer. So I went and picked up a bunch of 6 o'clock lagers, and both of them really liked it. And Dave doesn't drink a ton. I think he was tired, but he's like, Tom, this is good stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't lead you astray.
I brought the Birdie Boos down we had a family event in Calgary this past week, and a bunch of people had it, and they all loved it. And one guy's like, how do I get this here in Calgary? He's like, I think so. We Safeway Liquor, but I didn't know at the time it wasn't really there.
There's a
So
connection.
go get it. August 23rd, 24th, Ritchie Community League for 2 days. It is a 4v4 street hockey tournament in support of the Edmonton Food Bank. This is a licensed event, which is featuring the Alley Cat and the 6 o'clock lager, beer garden, silent auction, skills competition, other entertainment. To register your team of 9, go to northernedgeathletics.com/tourney or go to edmontonsportstalk.com. Go to the very top, click charity hockey tournament. Team of 9, you guaranteed 7 games. We will have an EST team that I think we're going to put in. YTT, Zach to come, and Jay are interested in building one, so we'll have to build one. We'll eventually, in the next coming weeks or so, we're going to throw it out to the Nasties to join. Would you even play street hockey in net, or just complete no net for you?
I did before, but God, that's a great story too. I was still playing, and I wore some of my German gear, I guess, but I didn't want to ruin my pads, so I played with my buddy's team, and I didn't want to go down, and then they lost, and my buddy gives it to me to this day, going, "You suck," because I lost them. But then I joined my buddy Luke and Ben Horchitza and Dave Cooper. We put in a team of 3-on-3, and Jared Stoll was the ref in the last game. So if we got to the finals, and then we played like a real ball hockey team. And I mean, I didn't even have that much gear on. Like, I had little pads. I got some street hockey pads or whatever. And the other goalie had full gear. Like, you could barely see the net. And they had like systems and stuff. So they beat us. And the winner got a trip to Vegas.
That's awesome.
But my wife was pregnant with our first kid. And but the second place was the Indy here. Oh, so I sat in the Red Bull tent with my brother-in-law, just getting completely ripped on Red Bulls and vodkas. It was delicious. It was great. Yeah, no, but my street hockey days have long passed.
I really enjoy street hockey. I see it differently than ball hockey. We're not going to go ball hockey.
It brings you back to being a kid.
It's more open. It's just fun, and you just go. I know there's some rules in street hockey tournaments, but it's still the open concept and a lot of fun. And some of those goalies, Gage, are like, there's some pretty heavy duty street hockey equipment for the goalies.
Yeah,
because that damn ball, man, the orange plastic ball, that thing can hurt.
You can whip it. My big moment was a guy got a break, like it was a penalty. It's a penalty shot.
Yep.
The guy came down and shot it, and he thought he scored. He didn't. It went over the net, and he goes, it went in. It went in. I go, no, it didn't. It didn't go in. And so it was this argument, and I just go, just do it again then.
Yeah.
And oh yeah.
And
oh yeah, I gloved it.
Oh,
and Stoley was the ref. He goes, boss move, Gager. And so that was the talk at that time. But
like that.
We still need to get you in net though one time for the Dusty versus you 10 shots.
That'll be. I think that's a winter thing at an ODR.
We're gonna do that on ice and stuff.
Yeah, outside ODR.
Okay.
Winter time.
We'll get that fully filmed.
Yeah. Let's.
How many shots are you willing to take if you put those pads on?
Well, we'll
how many other people could we get to come take shots? And or what's the
it'll
limit?
be a whole night. Maybe we'd do some. Yeah.
Well, because I would take some various. I would like to see Tommy go for it.
Sure, Tommy can try.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't bring up me because I've kind of been chirping him the last few weeks.
But I'm gonna these guys have no idea what they're in for, so it's fine.
I would say if it's
gonna be
20
painful
shots combined between Tommy and Dusty, I'm gonna put the over and under on goals. Like, I will say that I think one gets past you at most.
Maybe. Well,
I think one of them could get past you with a shot. I think that's the extent of it.
I'd put it at 3.5 for me, to be honest with you.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
You think you could score 3 goals on him? Or are you taking the over of the 3.5?
I'm taking the over on 3.5.
You think you could score 4?
On me?
What do you mean on you?
I want time limits.
Juicing this up.
I want time limits, and I want a total of like 5 pucks, and maybe it's like 5 minutes. How many can you score in 5 minutes on me? Where they have to, if they score, they have to go get another puck. A total of like 5
Oh,
pucks.
I like this.
So they could keep circling around and trying to get it, and
I like what he's doing.
They don't get to a third puck.
Yeah, they
I
might
don't
not
think
get to the second
Well,
one.
I think one gets to a second
I'm
puck. I think
excited about
after
this.
5, like at some point they'll get you a little tired maybe, and they can sneak one past
you know how hard it will be for them rather than for me?
Like, I think
You think Dusty is going to need oxygen by 2 minutes?
I didn't want to say it. I'm not thinking Dusty scoring me here.
Tommy,
I was going with Tommy. I think one maybe. I think there's one and then goes back at second puck and there's no third puck. There's
mentally,
not gonna need
Tommy's
it.
going to be crying after the first 30 seconds.
I'm excited about this. I might embarrass myself.
No, I might embarrass myself too, but it'll be fun.
The hype is good.
Yeah, there hasn't been this much hype for something aside from the what is it, the Mike Tyson fight. You know, this is. I want the full. We should forget the full weigh-in too.
I made an offhand comment one day, and then I was listening to the morning show, and he's doing his segment, and he starts like loading up something, and I'm like, I think he's talking about me right now. And it was me. He was chirping me. And I was like, oh, this is on. This is on.
Yeah, we'll get it done. And
Hey, if you want to sponsor
think
it,
one.
let us know.
I think there might get. I guess I set the over under at 1.5. I take the under, or do I set at 0.5 and take the over?
Well, it'll be on Coolbet.
We'll have to do something. But if it's not on Coolbet, there'll be some sort of line somewhere. I'll just say that one. Come out to the event and find me, and there'll be some sort of line going for that one. But
Stoff will be there.
Of course.
Oh, it'll be great.
not a chance that he scores
I'll
on
get
you.
Gene, maybe just a little bit of something.
Of the Edmonton media, who would you be scared most of? And I'm going to take away former players. Or is there anyone?
To shoot on me?
Most scared of, which is maybe not saying a lot. Like it's... But who would you think you might actually say like that maybe this person could get one past me? Who would be number one? That non-player.
No one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played against them. They're terrible. The only reason they're any good is because Louis or Rob Brown plays on the team. That's it.
Not even Carius? Carius is pretty good.
He's awful. Okay. He's terrible. He thinks I play alumni skates. He's out there.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I wish
it looks like he's got skate guards on all the time.
Yeah, it does actually. But KK
Jesus.
still, for an older guy, he skates really well and he works hard.
He's awful.
Jesus.
I wish that you skated when I was out there. I played with Cass once.
Well, I got 2 guys to do.
That's true. Cass made it out the one, but because it was an off day. Where it was a different day where I could make it. It was like a Friday. I did oil stream from the rink, and I ran down and I joined mid game, and I was rusty as hell.
Yeah.
So I was even worse gager than my usual low bar.
Yeah, whatever.
Time now to qualify someone for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival VIP table to Saturday with Kevin Hart, the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, July 12th through the 14th. Kingsman Park. Friday, it's completely sold out. It features Andrew Schultz and Shane Gillis. Saturday, Kevin Hart. Sunday, Burt Kreischer, Whitney Cummings. Alley Cat, the official beer of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. So the first big event for the 6 o'clocker lager. You can join the 6 o'clocker lager. Great venue. Has some great laughs with some great comedians. Tickets available online, greatoutdoorscomedyfestival.com for Saturday and Sunday. Limited amount of tickets available for both those 2 shows. So not only are there a limited number left, there's early bird pricing. As of June 1, it goes up. So you only got 2 more days to jump in on that early bird pricing. GreatOutdoorsComedyFestival.com. But to qualify for the VIP table for Saturday with Kevin Hart, text to 780-218-9999. There's 20 shots that would be taken between Dusty and Gazzola. How many would they score against Gager? 0 to 20. Text what your prediction would be. 780-218-9999, and you'll go into a draw for that VIP table for 4 to see Kevin Hart at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival on Saturday, July 13th. So again, it's a combined 10 shots for Dusty, 10 shots for Gazzola against Joaquin Gage. How many goals will get, or how many shots would get past Joaquin Gage? text that to 780-218-9999, and I'll be intrigued to see where the nasty chat goes with that one.
One alumni
inbox.
One alumni skate. I was thinking about this, like how good NHL goalies are. It was Scrivy and JD, and because the other guys weren't available, and I know those guys like to play out. You like to play out as well. You did it. Hockey Helps the Homeless. But Scrivy was breaking in new gear. He brought back the oil drop ones.
Did he?
Because he had a bunch of alumni events that he had to play in net for. So he's like, I need to break in the new gear. I need to go in net. And JD, they just asked him to. And I got a couple on JD, but he was having an off game. And then it was like last goal wins. We had a minute left, and finally, like they're like, okay, like this is it. And I get the puck, and I'm kind of off on the left hand side, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna score to end the game. And I just get off like a nice quick wrister, top glove, and Ben's just like, game over. He just looks at me, throws the puck. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, you guys are good. It's unreal. Unreal how quick. Like, even those guys who haven't played in the league for a little bit,
they're so
just
good.
Like, bam, bam, bam.
Like,
I'm like, idiot. Why didn't I put it elsewhere? Like,
like JD,
he's so
he's so good.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. I mean, even Jamie McLennan was unbelievable goaltender. Like, and sometimes you don't think of his career being, but there's a reason why he was a backup for so long and being in the league. What's his name? The French guy from TSN, gosh, Baron. He was lights out.
Yeah.
Like you knew he was an NHL guy because I remember playing against him in the minors a lot, and you just couldn't score.
Yeah.
He wouldn't allow a goal. It was so funny because you'd see him without his gear on.
Yeah.
And he was just there's nothing to him. He's like, but then he'd get this gear on and he looked like the Hulk in there. And he was phenomenal goaltender. But yeah, it's funny when I hear guys talk, and even to me, not whatever. I'll be playing against some guys, and they were like, "It's so weird playing against you than our other guys because I'll come down and I don't see any net.
I was just gonna say
I don't see anything.
The thing I've noticed about like just guys that played maybe junior or whatever compared to NHL and pro guys is when you have a lane and you're looking at the net, you don't see the holes. You have to remember where they are because that element is gone. The visual's gone. The way you guys play takes away, like you don't see the net at all. Whereas if it's other guys, the amateur guys, you're like, oh, there's a spot there. If I hit it, it's in. It's in. Not with you guys.
It's funny because when even at alumni skates, when guys, non-pro guys, I could make them shoot wherever I wanted to.
Yeah,
to, right?
I think that's what Scrivy did to me.
I would just take a little bit of step to the right or the right, and they'd see all this room on the glove side, and they go, "Oh, awesome!" And then they'd look down and get ready to shoot, and I'd just go like this, hit me right here.
Back over.
You're so cruel.
I know it's awful.
The answers are all over the place. One pity one from Gager, 1-0. Tommy gets one. Dusty 0-0-0. But then there's Jasmine says 8.
Nice. Thank you, Jasmine. You're right.
Jasmine.
We got Tommy gets 4 out of 10.
Yes.
Dusty gets 2 out of 10. So there's 6. There's a couple people that just don't believe in you. If the boys shoot low, they'll get them all. Gager ain't going down. He's got 2 good ACLs.
That's my video.
So somebody here saying 15.
Oh, that's good.
So some people just not believe in you, Gager.
Oh, that's good.
You're gonna have your Darnell Nurse
This
moment.
would be great. We're gonna need fans we're gonna.
I think there's a lot of people that would be going.
The Silent Ice guys, maybe.
Absolutely. I think so.
We could do something there.
We can make this actually Summit, a restaurant at Silent Ice Center, has 6 o'clock or lager on tap, and it has Birdie Boo and 40s.
It does. As do some golf courses already now have.
Okay, great.
They've got Links and Countryside have Birdie Boos, and they are working on a couple of other places to get Birdie Boos there as well.
Great.
So
go.
that's actually one of the reasons Schmitty was saying yesterday that they got the plastic bottles. It's just easier for golf courses.
Yeah,
as opposed to having to have the glass bottles and stuff and the beer carts.
Yeah.
You could do the bigger plastic bottles.
Nice and easy.
And so that's wouldn't that be some driving around and
Big
getting a shot
26.
of the what is the Dune?
4 liters. Can we get
drink?
the 4 liter ones?
Go to the just like get the bag in a box of Birdie Boos. What's the drink called in Dune again?
Water
Water of Life. Water of Life.
Water of life.
It's the Water of Life.
beautiful.
That should be the slogan for it. We should just
Yeah,
start calling
it's
it the
called
Water of Life.
Yeah.
Hey, who took the box of 2 Hoots last week?
Will.
Will did.
But now we've got 8 more.
Yeah.
Dusty forgot that he had them.
That's
Phrase?
water of life.
Phrase
in the
just
summer.
came
Yeah.
and he's looking at them. He's like, I'm taking this. I was like, well, there's some cans you could take. He's like, no, I'm taking this one. I was like, okay. That's what
boss
Will
move.
does.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got quite a bit. Belzy's mad at us because
Why?
he's bought a bunch of these now and he's just crushing them. Like he says, like, we've gotten him hooked on it.
I introduced him to Sweet Nectar of the Gods 2 Hoots. I'm like, you want to try this? He's like, what is it?
It is quite
Hard ice.
refreshing.
Hard tea.
I haven't had any yet.
It's not even that
but
hard.
It just
It's
has
easy
a little,
tea.
It's got the 5% in it still, but it don't taste like I got 5% in
No.
it.
It's good stuff.
Fastest or best-selling tea in Canada.
I can see why.
It's and the box is like the bag in a box is to me the way to go. You just throw that in your fridge and just fill
It
up
is true.
all night. It's probably more deadly because
What
it's
is
just
this?
so easy to keep filling
Next,
up. But
because my wife, when dance competitions, she takes the little backpack and takes the wine in a box,
Mm-hmm.
takes the bladder out and throws it in the backpack and just has the spout out. So
Megan.
that's
Well played.
what I'll have some 2 Hoots next dance season.
Boom. I like it.
and then everyone will know to get some.
Yep,
What are you drinking, Joaquin? Iced tea.
iced tea. Why are you laying on the ground?
Why is your left eye looking that way and your right eye that way? I don't know.
Actually, somebody came in, a buddy of mine, for a prize. I hadn't seen him in a long time. He says your daughter's the face of
Fever. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's she goes to LA in a couple weeks
Really?
for a dance intensive, and then she has to fly to Toronto for the photo shoot for Face of Fever.
Cool.
Jeez, that's awesome.
All right.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Be proud.
Thanks.
Poor guy.
She's the face.
She's the face, yeah.
So there you go. Face of fever.
You love dance.
It's just the cost.
I know.
It is the
Are they paying to get her for the photo shoot?
no. No. This is all me.
There's going to be an added tip jar at Commonwealth Stadium this year.
gosh,
for
yeah,
Gager.
yeah.
Go
If you really
buy
like this
wieners from
burger,
Joaquin.
tip for
My
Gager. He's just
gosh.
going to have it out there too.
Jesus.
Yeah.
3 more jobs.
For an extra buck, he'll tell you a joke.
Actually, I might just be at the rinks, just take a shot. It's $1 a shot. I'll just sit out there.
This is good.
He's going to sell
Very
his.
industrious. Yeah.
I'll donate some to charity, whatever. But most will go back to the Gage Fund.
That's what they call proceeds. Goes to
Right.
charity, right?
Isn't that
You
like the
take
World
your-
Fund? Or the Human
Oh,
Fund?
the human
The human
fund.
fund.
Yeah, the human fund. What's that? Made it up.
George, we want to make a large donation to the Human Fund.
I was actually. It was really nice. My son was watching Seinfeld, and so it was. I was just laughing with him, so it was nice to see.
Well,
that.
as Axcom says, he's never watched it. Rightfully so. He's too young for it. But I'll throw it on in the afternoon here because it's like the only thing on TV at
Yeah.
times, and it's also great.
Yeah.
And he
Fantastic.
says like he's
Yeah.
whatever he's hearing, he's loving it, and he's
Yeah.
laughing at it. And
Have you watched his new movie?
Nope.
On Unfrosted.
No.
It's pretty. I got tired, but I laughed. It's pretty good on Netflix.
he's coming to Edmonton. Jerry Seinfeld.
I've seen
in the
him
fall.
in at the Jubilee.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And
I
it was a
bet.
slow build, but then he just
Yeah.
bam, bam, knocking it out of the park. And you're in fits laughing by the end of it.
Yeah.
And
That's what
this-
Don Ellis was saying this week that he saw him and he was fantastic.
He's
Yeah.
unreal.
And you could tell, like, it just starts out like, what are you getting at, Jerry? Come on, hit me with the good stuff. And then it's just like the layers that he weaves in. He's
Yeah.
a master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So good. A text came in about the 2 Hoots boxes. And it was, where can I buy? This is from Big Mike from the Grove. Says, where can I buy a box of 2 Hoots? I've checked my local spots in Spruce.
So there's I was in Calgary and I found it.
The box?
I wasn't even looking. I was like, oh, look, the box is there. In Alberta, if you want to know, if you have a specific drink of alcohol that you want to look to see where it is, there's a site called Liquor Connect. Go there, search the drink you're looking for. It says where to buy, and it shows you a map of stores
Yeah.
in Alberta that have ordered it within the last 90 days. So they might be out of stock by then,
But
it tells you who has at least ordered it in the last 90 days, and you can go check it out. So if you go Google, or if you go to liquorconnect.com, type in 2 Hoots, they'll give you the options of 2 Hoots. One of them will be the box. Click it. It says where to buy. It'll show you a map, and you can zoom in to where you want. It'll tell you kind of the liquor stores that have ordered it. So you can call that liquor store ahead of time, or you can just head there and see if they have it. It's my go. Like wine is one where if there's a specific wine they want that's not always in stores, I use that site for finding a wine. Liquor Connect is where to go because I think that's the actual site that people have to order from. Like the restaurants and all that, they actually have to go to Liquor Connect to order their booze. You can't order from there, but you can see where it is. So I don't know who has it all in stock. It'd be available at any liquor store. I think they would have the ability to bring it in. But if you want to know who might have stock for 2 Hoots or anything, liquorconnect.com. is the place to be.
Nice. So, I knew you'd have the answer.
It's a great site.
Yeah. It is
a wonderful site.
I've done it
There's
for
even
wine.
an app.
Yeah. I had to do it for some specialty beers at times too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's obviously like 6 o'clock or lager, Safeway, Sobeys liquor. That's for sure. You know where to go. But if there's that, I don't know, that Czech wine that you haven't.
God, there's a
you don't
Safeway.
know, and that's a deep one. You could deep cut. Sherbrooke Liquor would maybe have it, but you could also check if was there another store that maybe is ordering Liquor Connect.
There's a new Safeway liquor store on 23rd and 111th in there by the old Heritage Mall kind of area. It's unbelievable. It's so clean in there. You could perform surgery in that place.
Pristine.
Before we wrap up the hangout, Jen Cool in the nasty chat. Tanev was seen wearing a boot on his foot at the airport. We shall see what that means moving forward. Yeah. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tomorrow. Hudson's West Edmonton Mall, Street. Myself, I think I will be there. I think Jay might be coming.
Yep.
Eric will be there.
Yep.
A bunch of other nasties, but come out.
Sometimes he shows up.
And it's always great because it's just random. All of a sudden, Gager's walking in. Like it's Gager. It's almost like Cheers.
Yeah.
Like everyone's happy. It puts everyone in a great mood no matter what's going on. But you could pregame tomorrow because it's 6:30, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 6?
So. I think it's 6:30.
I got to double check. Means it's 5 or 5:30. Or 5 or 4:30, I guess I should say.
I'm looking right now.
But he will be at West Edmonton Mall on Bourbon Street, 6:30. So 5 o'clock post-game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And then coming up next, it is the Lock Shop, a chance to qualify for the $100,000 hole-in-one presented by Golf Town, as well as a chance to still qualify for the VIP table to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Same thing happening at noon to 1, which is 2 guys and a goalie. Myself, Gage, or Cass will look more into Game 4 as the Oilers even up the Western Conference Final at 2 games apiece, and we'll look ahead to Game 5 tomorrow as one of those teams will look to come to Edmonton on Sunday with the chance to win the Campbell Trophy. So that will be in town.
Oh yeah,
it will be.
Right.
It will be in Rogers Place on Sunday. One team will have a chance to potentially touch it or not touch it, but just take a picture with it, or it's going to get packed up to go back to Dallas.
Right.
We'll say, the trophy's going to be in.
I guess all the trophies were here at the bubble. I was trying to think. When was the last time though?
The Avs won it here.
Yeah, that's true. Game 6 or Game 4. Pardon me.
They won it
here. Right.
They won it here.
And the Montreal Canadiens have won it. Isn't that ridiculous?
Right.
Oh, the trophy?
Yeah.
Well, it's like there was a couple of this week, or was it last week, the anniversary of the Kings knocking off the Leafs in the playoffs.
Oh.
That's not a Stanley Cup final. Like I always find that, looking back, to be really weird.
Gilmore!
Like that happens.
Yeah.
But yes, Lock Shop coming up next with Huss. I don't know who's on with Huss. I think P. Greggy will be on. I think I'm on with Huss tomorrow, though, on the Lock Shop.
Nice.
Tommy Gager, this was fun as always. On behalf of Tommy Gager, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout presented by 2 Hoots Hard Iced Tea. Don't just give a hoot, give 2. Live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio as well as on YouTube. This is your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Thanks for tuning in. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today